Banana na 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 na. Banana na 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 na. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining me. My name is AyoT. This is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football. And yes, another match day, this time for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And, they just defeated Ethiopia by 4 goals to 0 in the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. Win the tie 5-1 on aggregate. 5-1 on aggregate. And of course, through to the next round of the Paris 2024 Olympics qualifiers. We're going to face the winner of Cameroon versus Uganda, if I'm not mistaken. And at the moment, the second leg of that game is 2-0 and it is 2-2 on aggregate between Cameroon and Uganda. So we're waiting to see how that game ends. And the Super Falcons will face the winner of that tie in the next round. So I'll just run through my thoughts on the game very quickly. Some people are already saying some things that I thought as well. In case you missed the match, the first goal was scored by Uchenna Kanu in the 45th minute, on the verge of halftime. A lofted through pass by Tosin Dimei, beautiful pass by Tosin Dimei. Uchenna Kanu got on the end of it. She opened up her body, finished with her right foot. A fine goal by the Super Falcons all around. The second goal was scored by captain on the night. She was the captain of the first game as well. I'm talking about Rashida Busari Ajibade. A mazy run down the right-hand side by Asisat Oshoala. After she had missed a chance earlier in the game, Oshoala with a nice run down the right, she played the ball into the box and Ajibade finished relatively easily, right place, right time, 2-0 to the Super Falcons in the 50th minute. The third goal was then scored by Asisat Oshoala in the 68th minute. It was a cross from the left, a left-footed cross, I believe, by Uchenna Kanu, the goal scorer of the first goal, and Oshoala headed home for, a fine goal by the Super Falcons in the 68th minute. I was happy that Oshoala got that goal as well after she had missed a chance earlier in the match, like I mentioned. And then the final goal of the evening was scored by, again, Rashida Ajibade. She got her brace in the 72nd minute. Another run by Asisat Oshoala down the right, and then she squared it into the box for Rashidat, who at first it looked like she didn't control the ball properly, but she was able to bundle it over the line. 4-0 ended up being a relatively comfortable victory for the Super Falcons, and they cruise into the next round of the competition of the qualifying series. Overall, I don't really want to comment on individual performances like that because I think we were all watching the same stream for those of us that watched it. And it wasn't the best stream, it wasn't the best camera angles we were getting. But I'm just happy that we're able to watch the game somehow. This game wasn't broadcasted by the NFF. I think it was a private individual that took time out of their day to stream the match and show us the game as well as the commentary. So shout out to Easy TV. We appreciate you for doing that where the people in charge failed to do so. Of course, Randy Wardrum was not at the game. Just like the first leg, Randy Wardrum missed the second leg of this tie as well. But ultimately, it didn't matter as we got the results. I know, yes, the football wasn't as nice as it was in the World Cup, that is for sure. But still, it was a pretty good game. Chiamaka Nnadozie didn't have too much to do in the game. I think once or twice that she was called upon from a free kick, from another shot, she was up to the task as we expect her to be and we know her to always be. So yes, good job from Chiamaka Nnadozie. In the defense, I think Dimei was quite good. Alozie, sometimes, that's number 11 from Ethiopia was giving her some twists and turns. I cannot even lie. There were some times that Alozie was staggering. The Ethiopian defender was wounding her small. But ultimately, it didn't count for much. This was mostly happening, I would say, around midfield, around the halfway line. So it wasn't really in threatening positions. Alozie might say, oh, I did my job. She didn't get past me. She was just dribbling and going back. So it depends on how you look at it, really. Rofia Timura on the left-hand side didn't have too much to do, in my opinion. She made some good runs down the left flank. She tried to contribute in the attack. She made her tackles in defense when she had to. Akudo as well in the defense, center back pair with Tosin Dimei. Wasn't tested too much during the game, but then the few times that she had to step up and she had to win a few tackles, she of course did that very well. Peace Efi was, I think, one of the better players on the day. Peace Efi ran the midfield. She was, winning tackles, winning interceptions, driving the game forward quite a bit. I was impressed by Peace Efi, and one thing that I always like to see is that for certain players that are quote unquote fringe players in the squad, when you get your opportunity, when you get your chance, it's very important to take it. And I think Peace Efi took her opportunity in the game today, and again, even the last match in Ethiopia. She was quite impressive, I must say. And if Ucheibe and Ainde were available, she'll probably not have been playing, or maybe not even be in the squad. And for her to put in the kind of performance that she did today, I was impressed by Peace Efi. Of course, she's not a newcomer to the Super Falcons. She went to the last WAFCON. She scored in the last WAFCON, but she missed out on the World Cup. And now she's back. She's balling again. And hopefully she can keep her position, at least a rotation in the Super Falcons midfield. Tony Payne as well wasn't as creative as usual, but I think she didn't have a bad game. She had a quite decent game, trying to drive the ball forward, connecting with the forward players, Uche Nakanos, the Ajibades, the Oshualas, the Onumonus, not the most flamboyant game from her, but all the same, a pretty decent game. Uche Nakano as well, she scored the goal, she got an assist. You can't really complain about her performance today. Pretty good job. Ifeoma Onumonu, with all due respect, maybe the least exciting performance today was from Ifeoma Onumonu. In the first half, she was seeing a lot of the ball in the first half. She couldn't really create too much with it. I think she and Oshuala in that first half were a bit confused, getting in each other's way in terms of their positioning and, in terms of connecting with the game. But I wouldn't say she was bad. She just wasn't as exciting as maybe the other players, especially if the other players get goals and assists. Oshuala again missed one chance, very good one-on-one in the first half. She maybe missed another chance that people think should have scored, but ultimately she ended up scoring 2 goals. Rather, she ended up scoring 1 goal and getting 1 assist, and getting 2 assists. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 contributions out of the 4 goals. She turned up when she switched to that right flank. Maybe that's where she's supposed to be playing, but she did turn up eventually. Her header was also a beautiful header. The cross from Uche Nakano was nice, and I was really happy with how she finished it. And then, of course, especially that first goal for Ajibade, the assist by Oshuala was quite beautiful, the run down the right. And then, of course, captain of the night, captain of the evening, Rasheedat Ajibade. She got 2 goals, 2 assists by Oshuala, her FC Robo teammate of the past. They both play in the La Liga Feminine, and their connection showed today. Oshuala did a lot of nice work. Ajibade was making those late busting runs into the box. Of course, for the second goal, she actually started the play. She was the one that, drove the ball forward in midfield, passed it off to Oshuala. Oshuala showed her pace and then put it back for Ajibade. Ajibade bundled it over the line. So 2 goals for Rasheedat. Ultimately, I would say maybe the most glaring thing in this match was the fact that we didn't have Randy Wardrum, because the girls didn't seem as composed or as detailed, as trained as they did at the World Cup. But I would also say it's a very different squad from the one that went to the World Cup. We must say no Ainde, no Abiodun, no Ucheibe, no Plumter. Quite a different team in many aspects. But yeah, we got the game, we got the results. The pitch was terrible. It will be wrong for me not to mention that on this live. The pitch was absolutely terrible. You pass a ball supposed to go in a straight line, the ball is going like a wave. Ball goes in the air, the ball bounces on the grass. You expect it to bounce in a particular direction, it bounces in the completely opposite direction. The pitch was absolutely terrible. I don't know when we'll start to get our pitches right in Nigeria. I don't know why they didn't just make them play somewhere else. I don't know why they had to play the game in Abuja if they knew that the pitch wasn't terrible. Even before the game, the match was delayed for about 15-20 minutes because they were still trying to set goalposts. They were still trying to get certain things that, are supposed to be fairly basic. We watch football every week. We see these things happen without a hiccup. When it's time to watch football in Nigeria, all of a sudden is a different story entirely. But yeah, the pitch was absolutely terrible. But we're happy that we got the job done. We won the game. I expected them to win the game. I expected them to win dominantly. So a 4-0 result, I don't think is flattering to them. I think they could have even got one or two more in the game. As far as substitutions, Esther Onyenezide came on for about the last 5 minutes of the game. She had one mazy run. Onyenezide, she had one mazy run down the middle of the pitch. I don't know if it's because she's inexperienced, maybe she didn't want to do too much, but she ended up trying to pass that ball and then she lost it. For me, after she had already dribbled past about 2 or 3 players, take the shot. If you score, wow, what a goal. And if you miss, oh well, you miss. We're 4-0 up. But she tried to pass it to the right to, I think, was Oshoala or somebody that was down the right, and the ball was eventually intercepted. But that little flash of brilliance from Onyenezide was nice to see. She's somebody that, of course, she impressed for us at the youth level, and it will be interesting to see how she can adapt, if she can adapt and become a regular in the Super Falcons squad. But I was happy to see that spark of potential and ability from Onyenezide when she came on for the last few minutes of the game. Rinsola Bajide made her second appearance for the Super Falcons today when the game was already comfortable for us. Didn't do too much, but of course, another newcomer in the team, and we expect her to get more opportunities as time goes on. And she should be a regular in the team eventually. Folorunsho Comfort also came on in the game towards the end of the game in the second half, and then Nicole Payne replaced Rafiat Imura, who went off with an injury. Praying for her. Hopefully, is nothing too injured. I thought she was holding her knee when she went down. Hopefully, it's not too serious and she can get back on her feet fairly quickly. But yes, the two Payne sisters were on the field at a certain point, playing together like they did previously at the WAFCON. So yes, 4-0 victory. Nothing too much to add to that. I was quite happy with the result. I wish that they can fix the pitch issues. I wish that they can fix broadcasting issues to make us watch these games easier, and not have to rely on certain streams by private individuals. But that one a story for another day. Somebody said the Randy Wardrum talk don't do. I don't know what you mean by that, Odozoni. So if you can explain exactly what you mean. I spoke to certain Super Falcons players. I asked them straight up, who be a coach? And they said, no be Randy. Now Randy be the coach now. They still have group chats with Randy. There's been no communication to the players that Randy Wardrum is no longer the coach. There's also been no communication to we, the public, that he's no longer the coach or that his contract has been renewed. So we're kind of in this, I guess, gray area that we don't really know what is going on with the coaching of the Super Falcons. So I think it's definitely a conversation to be had. It's a fair question for people to be asking. And yeah, hopefully we know exactly what the situation is. But yeah, if anybody has any thoughts that they would like to share, if you watch the game and you want to give your opinion, you want to talk about certain players, send a request. Let me bring you on so that we can hear from. Smitlai, I see you're watching. Smitlai, send a request. Let me bring you on as well. Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
Hello,
that's good.
Adeolutimi. Ah, Adeolutimi left. I don't know what was wrong. Karen Sami, I'm trying to bring you on as well. Let me hear from you. Um, Smitlai, I'm going to bring you on as well. I want to hear from you what you thought. And you guys in the comments as well, let me know what you thought of the game. Who impressed you the most? What you think we could have done better? What you think we need to change? What we think we need to add? And any other thoughts? Kenny first said, what did our coach do? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Um, he won the game, so we cannot really criticize him for today. But it has to just be noted that we didn't look as cohesive as we did um, in Australia. Although some people can say that that's also because Australia was on good surfaces. A bunch of different players were there that are not in the team right now, or were not in the team today. Mayor Dollar says the female team is well trained. Waldrum has to continue. I love the synergy in the team. Sean Dida says English striker, well done. Thank you, Sean Dida. Thank you. Big Sammy says Kanu was impressive today with a goal and assist. Yes, she definitely came through. Earlier in the game, before she scored that goal on the stroke of halftime, she had one or two moments of indecision, which I think is kind of a characteristic of Uchenna Kanu in most of her matches. When she has, I always say this, when she has a lot of time to think of what to do, she doesn't really know what to do. But when you give her the ball and all that's required of her is to cross it in or is to finish, she's quite a good finisher, and she knows how to do that well. Now, South Africa says, did you see her in Ezide? Yes, I did. I spoke about her earlier. Nice cameo when she came on towards the end of the game. She had one good run down the middle that I was quite impressed with. I think she should have taken on the shots by herself and she shouldn't have passed it, but maybe she didn't want to, quote unquote, do too much, or she wanted to pass to one of her seniors. Welcome, North Africa.
Hey, my guy, it's very late in Australia here. How you going, AyoT?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for
I'm
staying up late to watch the game and to
I'm
join.
trying to switch on the light, man. um, yeah, so far so good. I think my biggest take, the result is not unexpected. You can't compare the quality of Super Falcon and the Ethiopian girls. All respect to the Ethiopians,
Yeah.
but I think that my beautiful take from this match is the girls that are coming through, because we have to look towards the future. And I was absolutely impressed by Oyenezide. If you what happened when she came in, that freed up Nicole Payne a bit in the midfield. And you could see, like, I love the confidence, like 20 years in soccer, she's not too young, but compared to the experience of the already established girls in the midfield, people like Halimatu Aginde, Uchenna,
Christy
sorry,
Uchebe.
Christy Uchebi, this other girl, what's her name? The girl that comes on your show quite often, Okobi, right? Yeah, she's a small fry. But when she came in, there was that pass you're talking about now, man. That move was mad, man. Like, aside Nicole Payne, I haven't seen anybody making that move in recent
You
years.
you mean
And
Tony Payne, not Nicole Payne?
sorry, Tony Payne, man. I always mix those girls up. And you could see her hold on the ball. It's like, this is not like an FC Robo. Much respect. FC Robo is an awesome team, man. So I'm really very happy, and it gives you that. I'm an absolute aficionado for female football. It gives you that confidence that the future is bright. We can have people like Halima to retire. I know Halima is holding, but I'm just happy that creativity, there's a hope for that creativity. And thinking that Flori Sebastian, I know she's a forward and she's a winger, but she can also deputize in that creative midfield role. Knowing that Flori Sebastian has gone to
Start the run.
France.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. She has gone to France as well. So I'm just like very happy. And comfort for Lauren Shola, when she came in, you could see that the first 5 minutes she was a bit shaky, right? You could see that, which is normal. Like, those girls are like babies compared to the girls already in the team. But when Demihe went out, and the girl that is playing Onome's role, the number 5, she kind of she's still shaky, but when that responsibility transferred to her, you could see her helping comfort. following Shaw very, very well. So I was kind of very happy about all of that stuff. In general, Super Falcons can do a lot better than what they've done, but a win is a win. I I don't know what Cameroon and Uganda is playing. The last time I checked, it was 2-0. Do
Yeah.
you know what the scores are?
Um, I would have to check, but like when I came on live, it was 2-0 to Cameroon, 2-2 on aggregate. So it tends are fair in that one.
Then one thing I want to tell Nigerians is it's a different ball game from watching. I was absolutely disappointed with the crowd that came out in Abuja. I don't know what's wrong with Abuja.
Yes.
Like,
Thank you for mentioning that because I had noted it and I said I was going to speak about that. And I'm not even going to knock on the crowd in Abuja because for me, I say it's one thing for there to be support, is another thing for the organizers, the federation to garner that support and to encourage people to come in. There was little to no marketing effort put in for this game. And again, I don't know, like the NFF, sometimes they are pleased, sometimes they are not quite pleased with how they do. We've been seeing the campaign that they're trying to push for the AFCON coming up in January. But there's a saying that you should be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Because you are doing AFCON campaign and you're spending your whole budget on getting every influencer in Nigeria to promote the AFCON, does not mean that a game like this, the Super Falcons who went to the World Cup in Australia, who we were all happy about their performance, we were all pleased. You know, we gave them such an ovation, we give them so much praise. Now they are coming to Nigeria to play a match. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is their first match in Nigeria since the World
World
Cup.
Cup. Yep.
And you cannot you cannot garner a crowd to come and watch them play. They are playing in front of a three-quarter empty stadium. I don't put it on the crowd in Abuja, I put it on the NFF. I'm sure if you go around Abuja now and ask a lot of people, they probably didn't even know that there was a game,
That's true.
going on. You
That's
know,
true.
and it's all about how you promote the team and garner the support. I wish that the NFF would understand that this Nigerian football is not just the Super Eagles. You know,
That's true.
Super Eagles don't get to quarterfinal of World Cup. The ladies got there or to round of 16. Give them due respect. I understand that the Super Eagles is still the biggest brand. They are probably still the brand that makes the most money. I understand that. But if you don't promote this team well enough, then they are never going to make that kind of money. That's the reality. You cannot just leave them there and just say, oh, well, Super Eagles are the ones that are making the money. You know, so partially, yes, fans in Abuja should have been out to support the team, but at the same time, the NFF, they could have done a much better job of publicity and awareness for the games. Of course, we have another. We're going to face the winner of Cameroon, Uganda. We're going to play them again. But I just think for the first game in Nigeria for the Super Falcons since the World Cup, there should have been a lot more noise about it. There should have been a lot more noise about it. It's not only when we're going to AFCON that they will do something for the men. You know, when we're playing Olympic qualifiers in our home country, they should do something to bring the people out. There is no reason why, even if the stadium is not going to be filled to capacity, there is no reason why they should be playing in front of a half empty or three-quarters empty stadium like they did today. So that one, I personally am knocking the federation for that. I think that they should do a much better job of marketing these ladies and garnering support, you know, when it comes to games like this.
That's true. Thank you for pointing that out. I just want to give a shout out to Frances Odega. I can see that she's joined this live. How are you going, Frances?
Francisco
Um,
Adega and Christy, I think Christy Uchebe is here as well. Shout out to
oh,
Christy.
oh, oh, yeah. I also want to mention something. I was watching, like, talking about NFF. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm gobsmacked about how things works in that federation. It's sad that we have to keep on surfing the internet to watch and live stream our match. Look at Ethiopia. The Ethiopia Federation showed this match. I had to watch this match through one Ahmed Emmanuel on Facebook. I saw one match replayed sometime. Onome Ebi showed a clip of it. She was watching it from this random person. Like, is it that, just like what you said, is it that these guys do not understand what football is? Even if they want to make money, they can make money absolutely through several means. I saw a camera in that Stadium, right? And I called somebody in Abuja, and the guy was telling me that that stuff belongs to a private person. How do they do their marketing? I just don't get it. How come that whenever we're playing match, we have to go to private channels on Facebook or people who are watching as private citizens and they're live streaming it? I just, like you guys who are closer to them, I think that yourself and Team Nigeria UK, they listen to you guys and you guys have got some long legs. Man, I don't know. I'm tired of complaining, but it doesn't make sense to me. And they are losing money.
No, yeah,
Absolutely. They are losing
I agree with you
loads
because
of
just look at
cash.
a game like this now, for example. If they had streamed the match on, let's even say YouTube, you stream the match on YouTube, you get maybe 100,000 people that are watching your stream. You will make a good amount of money from just ads, in one day of streaming. And when it comes to regular thing, you gain more subscribers. People know that this is something to expect. But again, I was watching the game on Wizzy TV. That's why I gave him a shout out. Thank you. Because if not for him, I don't know.
Easy.
I don't know how
Yeah,
I would have been
that's
able to watch the game.
exactly.
It's
That was
sad
the guy.
because like you said, the game that was played in Ethiopia, Ethiopian Football Federation streamed it on their YouTube channel, and it was very good. It was very clear. We're able to watch
Yeah.
it.
And they
So
were speaking
it
their
is something that we
native
need to do
language.
better.
That's massive marketing. With that, they are writing that it's something and all that stuff. And you wonder, like some of us that stay around this part of the world, you go to hospitals, you go to places like this, you see smaller countries, they have their interpretation and all that stuff. And you see us, we're so big and massive, aside India and China and one or two countries were coming next, and there is absolutely no representation. We've got so many. This is how people, they market themselves. You have an opportunity to be on the global stream. We have Nike partnership, we have Adidas and all that stuff. Like sometimes all you literally have to do is you have to ask for these things. Like even if you're talking to Netflix and you're asking for quality HD camera, a government parastatal, that's big advertisement for them. I don't know how it works, but I know that if you push for it, you will get it. Shebi, they just streamlined they just put a Nigerian movie, this Miss Koi Koi, on Netflix. That's because there is viewership, there is patronage. And you're saying Netflix, give us this camera and all those things. If Netflix could be sending things to Ikorodu boys free of charge, these guys have got the money. Give them the platform and you market them and they will do it. Like, I'm not into marketing and advert and all that stuff, but I know that these things would work if you are a government agency and the rest of them, and you've got the audience. And that's one thing we've got audience. Now, what another thing I want to talk about is, I know that like 44 Nigerians are watching you guys. Everybody should take a chill pill about Ifeoma Onumonu. If you remember AyoT, right, from the World Cup at Morocco, I don't know if you still know
The
how long I've been following
WAFCON
you.
and
I
Morocco,
was
yeah.
the biggest critic of Ifeoma Onumonu. I was always on her case. I'm like, we need an aggressive striker. We need people like Ajakaye. Like, what's happening? This is not our game. But when I met Ifeoma Onumonu in Melbourne, yeah, I met these girls in Melbourne when they went to Australia. I watched them in Brisbane. That girl is sick. She's intelligent, she's slick, and she's sick. Like, when I mean sick, I mean, yeah, this guy is saying she's too slow. That's because you're watching through a TV. Yeah, I was like you, Taiwo. I was like you. I thought that Ifeoma Onumonu was slow. Ifeoma is a very intelligent footballer. She supports the defense. Do you remember either in the 35th minute, right? We had this counter from the Ethiopians. Ifeoma was the person that tracked back. None of our forward, Uche Kalu don't do it. Ajibade do not do it. Oshola, of course, she's added so much weight. She doesn't do it. Onumonu was the person that actually tracked back and did that. And what she played in Melbourne, I was at the game with Canada, yeah? Man, I was shocked. That girl is good. We just need to, Coach Randy is not dumb. Why he keep inviting her? I know she's not getting as much game time in Gotham FC, yeah? But if we can figure out how to use that girl, Ifeoma is good. There is this control and reading of the game she brings into the game, and she draws defenders to herself. And if we have a good finisher, once she's done that stuff, that person can bury it. I'm sorry to say Nigerians might not agree. Nobody can stay top shot. Even if you're a surgeon, at some point your practice will decline. Oshola is not she has gotten to the peak of her career. Only one thing can happen now. She either maintains or she drop, and that is how she would, just like every other footballer. It happened to Terry Henry. It happened to Alan Shearer.
Let me just jump in quickly and say one thing. You're allowed to have your opinion on Oshoala, but I don't like when people come on my live and they talk about things that they cannot prove with any fact. You said, oh, she has gained too much weight. You don't know that. You are not at her club when they are doing all the fitness tests. So you don't know whether she has gained weight or not. You are just talking. So stick
I
to the
saw her in
facts.
Australia now. I saw her in Australia.
It does not matter what you
Those
stick. Let's just
those
stick to the
laps have
things.
become very
No.
big.
Let's stick to the things that we know as facts. Yes, she's at her peak of her career. I think Oshoala is 29 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So this is typically when players are at their peak. God grant her, maybe possibly another 10 years, but we don't expect her to play at this level forever.
Oh, definitely.
But we have to give her credit today. She provided 2 fantastic assists for the 2 Ajibade goals, and her header was a good one. Yes, she missed a chance earlier, but football players miss chances, all the same. So yes, leave the weight alone. Just talk about the things that we saw and that we can prove.
Please, Mr. Captain Lockman, I do not subscribe to the language you're using.
Myself, I don't
Please
subscribe to the language you use, though.
quote me correctly. When I say you can actually help a player to become a bit bigger. You can bully defenders when you're bigging. I did not say fat shaming. Please don't quote me out of context. I say she has gained weight. There's nothing wrong in gaining weight. There's nothing wrong in gaining weight. Please, there's nothing wrong in gaining weight. So, Mr. Lockman or whatever, that language you're using, I do not associate myself with it. If we're all being very fair, as you grow older, your metabolism drops. And as your metabolism drops, there's a tendency for you to retain more than you metabolize. So please, if you want to go through the medical pathway, I will go through the biochemistry of all of that stuff for you and how it works. So don't quote
Let's
me
leave that one
out of
alone.
context,
Let's leave
please.
that one alone. Let's leave
Please.
that one alone. Ultimately, it was a good win for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. 4-0 against Ethiopia. Again, I'm just looking at the game between Uganda and Cameroon. They are going into extra time. It's 2-2 on aggregate. Uganda won the first leg 2-0. Cameroon ahead 2-0 in this second leg. So yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I want Uganda to win. But let, let's see. Let's
I
see what happens. Let's see what happens.
I think this lady, she still did this lady's called, what's her name? Njara Ntwit.
Yeah,
That they are very
she
good
scored the first goal
forward
for Cameroon.
that plays for, is it Inter Milan? Yeah.
Is she still at Inter? Yeah,
Who
but yeah.
who is their current keeper? Coach Bawu. Coach Bawu, the girl that was in Bielsa. I think she's moved overseas. And I think she's trying to settle down in her new club or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Do you know?
who's in goal for them. I didn't look at their lineup today, but yeah, I'm supporting Uganda. I want Uganda to
Um,
qualify.
what are your thoughts about what's this new girl? The UDG Tenerife girl.
Rinsola Babajide.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
yes.
she's a fine player. I've watched her at club level quite a bit.
Absolutely.
I watched her when she was at Betis. I've watched her now that she's moved to, well, they've changed their name to UDCA Tenerife. But yeah, I've been watching her. I think she's a fine player. She's good on the ball. She's quite pacey. She has quite good, skills. And I just think that it's only a matter of time before she gels into the team properly and she starts to find her feet. Um, she's definitely a quality addition to the side. The only thing is that, of course, just like we see in the Super Eagles, we're stacked up front. So we have a lot of attacking talent. So it's not going to be easy for her to just come in and bounce those established players who have been playing there for a long time. But I think she's a good player. Moyi King is asking, where do you think the coach should play her? I think the coach can either play her as a left forward or as a striker. Either of those two positions, I think she can do pretty well. Left wing, of course, the coach is playing Ajibade through the middle, so it's tough because if Ajibade is against half of that left wing, Ajibade probably gets the nod. You know, even right now, Uchenna can probably gets the nod ahead of her for that left wing. But I think that that's where she's ultimately going to shine as a left winger, Risela Bajide. But of course, she can also play as a striker. We just have to wait and see what they choose. I wouldn't say attacking midfield. No, I don't really think that we should play as an attacking midfielder. I don't think she's as good a passer as either Tony Payne or Ajibade. And I also think that on the left, she'll be able to, either flank, but preferably left, she'll be able to show her pace and she'll be able to use her skills and her technique to dribble past players more easily and ultimately, better result for the national team. Somebody's asking why wasn't she used today, Esther? Esther was used today.
And
Oyenezide.
she did
She came
fantastically
on
well.
for I think probably like the last 8 minutes of the game or thereabouts, and she had a good cameo. Like North Africa said, she showed herself. She has quality. She showed it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I said it again. I'll say it again. I think she should have taken that shot after dribbling like 2 or 3 players. I don't know why she
And
passed it, but
and
she'll be a good player for us for sure. And
and
we
she
do know that she has that outside shooting
shot.
ability because we saw it at the 20. We know she has the ability.
That is it.
Maybe
Yeah.
I think maybe she didn't want to shoot with her left foot because the ball was a little bit on her left. But Esther did play. She showed
Yeah.
herself to be a quality player,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I have no doubt that she would have more appearances for the Super Falcons and she will be a good player for us.
She's still 20, right?
She's still 20. Yeah, I think so.
Yes, yes. She's got that outside shot. I think uh, she's still at that phase of like blending in, realizing. I've come to see something about the female game. They have this very nice regard and uh, respect system in the team where the younger girls try to go through a mentor-mentee situation and all that stuff, and they give a lot of accolades to the senior girls, which is absolutely good. I've seen Asisa Oshola say it so many times in all those their funny TikTok videos and flip and all that stuff with Gift Monday and all that stuff. So I think that Esther Oyenezide is still at that phase where she is still getting integrated into the team, has a lot of respect for some of the senior girls, and would generally not be in a haste to want to step into the big shoes and all that stuff. So that was why she didn't take that shot. If she plays with her age grade, I see her once she's that nice move she made, she would have just taken that shot. She's done it before. She did it is it in India when they went for all that stuff? The ones they play with the USA girls and the rest of them, she was absolutely brilliant. One more situation I want to talk about is the goalkeeping situation. With all respect, the home-based goalkeeper that was called to the camp, is it Omole or something like that?
Oh, you
Monye
know.
or something like that? Yeah, Oyono. Um, I I've got my reservations, but I don't watch her so much in the league. Have you seen her?
I mean, I think
Stay between the sticks?
I can't really speak on her too much. We saw her play for Nigeria at the youth level. I haven't seen her. I don't, maybe people should not knock me for this, but I don't get to watch many NWFL games, just probably because of where I live. So I don't want to say she's good. I don't want to say she's not good because it wouldn't be an honest opinion. She's the one that they wanted Randy Wardrum to take to the World Cup, but
Yeah,
of course Randy Wardrum preferred Yewande Balogun to her.
yeah.
So we just have to, I guess, wait for when she eventually does get her chance, and hopefully she can turn up for us. But as of right now, I cannot tell you what I think of her because
Her
I don't really
ability.
know anything yet.
Yeah.
Let me just respond to somebody quickly as we're rounding off. Wisbeck said, "Please let Rinsola Ezide be played early." I think the issue with that is at least just trying to be in the coach's head a little bit is, after playing 1-1 in Ethiopia, the coach absolutely knows that today is a must-win game. So more than likely, he would go with the players that he knows, that he trusts, that he has seen for a long time. It would be a little bit difficult for him to just introduce new players from the start, in today's game. Maybe he could have brought them on earlier since we had scored 3 goals. It was quite comfortable. But I just think that the coach probably wanted to go with players that, the Ajibades, the Tony Paynes, the Oshualas, they've been there, they've done that, he knows what they will do for us. So that's probably why he didn't play those two players early. But I like based on what I've seen from them, Rinsola at club level, what I've seen from Oyenezide, even in the cameo that she had today, I think that they will definitely get more opportunities as more matches roll, along and come along. But Chimi says, why always switch Alozie to the left wing? Doesn't she perform poorly on that wing most times? We saw an England game and we saw it again today. I mean, I don't know why they're making that switch. It's two different coaches. But we see Alozie when she plays for her club, she either plays as a right back or she plays as a right forward, right forward / striker. She obviously isn't the greatest player from the left wing. She's not really, she cannot use her left foot. We have to say that she doesn't know how to use her left foot. So I cannot speak exactly to why they use her in that role. But maybe it's just one of those last minutes towards the end of the game. They're just making switches and they just think, okay, it cannot really hurt us.
400 pounds. That's a lot of money, man. Real TMSC won his whatever, 400 pounds. That's good, man.
That's good. Super Falcons making money.
Honestly,
That's good.
I don't know how they do those things. I wish somebody could teach me how they do those sporting bets.
Yeah. The thing with bets is the day you win is exciting. The day you lose, you have to be ready to take your loss.
Sorry,
King, before you go, let me just finish with the comments. Muyi King says, I'm not a fan of Ajibade in the middle, but she played well at the center too. I mean, 2 goals today, 1 goal in the game against Ethiopia in Ethiopia. Hard for you to really criticize them for doing that based on the output that she had. But I also think that she's probably best as a left winger. What I was impressed with today, though, from Ajibade was how she was making those runs into the box. I would say those Lampard-like runs when the ball is out on the right flank, and that the player doesn't have a choice. They're going to have to cross it into the box eventually. You make those runs into the box a little bit late, but arrive in the right position to score a goal. I was quite happy because that's how she got her 2 goals today. And I mean, when a player scores 3 goals in 2 matches, you cannot really tell the coach that he made the wrong decision. Okay. Africa, go ahead.
Is there any referenceable update on the Randy situation, please?
Personally, not that I know of. I spoke to 1 or 2 Super Falcons players before this international break started. I asked them, who is the coach? Their response was, is Randy now? And they said, Randy is still in their group chat. They've not yet told them anything about Randy leaving the team or not leaving the team. So we're waiting for an update from the NFF. The reason why he wasn't in Nigeria / Ethiopia for these 2 matches, they say was because of commitments that he had with his college team, Pittsburgh Women's Soccer. I know that Pittsburgh played a game the day after we played the first leg in Ethiopia. I know that Pittsburgh women played a game the next day.
That was their last game.
Yeah, but I don't know why he couldn't come for this second match. But we haven't had any updates from the NFF with regards to his situation. What I know is that I spoke to several Super Falcons players after the World Cup, and they all mentioned that they would like to see Randy continue at the job. They would like to see him, continue to lead the affairs. They think that it is essential for the team's progress and for the team's growth. So hopefully the NFF think the same, hopefully. Okay, North Africa, final thoughts before I let you
go. So far so good. Work in progress. We've played better than we have. It's a new coach, new team, integrating some of the new girls. Nothing too out of the ordinary for Super Falcon. Wasn't a bad performance as well. The team can only get better. I think most of the challenges are off the field, not on the field. So once we tidy off all the off-field situation, I think the team would come good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, North Africa. And I see somebody in the comments is saying that Pittsburgh women also played yesterday. So maybe that's the reason why.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I'm looking yesterday. They played yesterday, so that's probably why. Thank you very much, North Africa. And for the person that's asking about Abiodun, um, Abiodun plays for Pittsburgh Women. So more than likely, I want to imagine that that's the reason why she couldn't make it as well. She had obligations with her college team. Okay, welcome to the live, Epic 9.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, it's a wonderful game.
You sound,
Bordeaux,
sorry, you sound a
can
bit
you
muffled. I don't know if it's
hear
because
me?
of your headphones.
Can you hear me?
You sound a bit muffled.
Okay. Can you hear me now? You can hear me, yeah?
No, I think it's because of your headphones.
So my
It's not clear.
headphone. Okay. Let me just come back. Can you
Okay.
hear me? Let me come back. Yeah.
All right. Just send a request quickly because I'm going to end the live pretty soon. But yes, let me see. Yes, Muyi King says, I guess Abiodun and Echegini are in school, which I think as well is the case. But yeah, Echegini is going to graduate from, she's going to graduate from college, I think this December, from university. So she should be able to sign her first professional contract, and things like this wouldn't be a hindrance in the future. Okay, guys, let me know your final thoughts in the comments. If you have any questions, send them now so that we can address the questions, suggestions, whatever the case may be, very quickly before we end for today. For anybody that didn't watch the game, it was 4-0 to the Super Falcons. Goals by Uchenna Kanu, Asisa Toshuala, Rasheedat Ajibade, and then Rasheedat Ajibade again. Fantastic victory. We're still waiting for the winner of Cameroon versus Uganda to know who exactly we are going to face. It is the 100th minute of that game. 100th minute of that game is still 2-0 to Cameroon, 2-2 on aggregate. So yes, that's a tough encounter. Both teams are battling for the right to play against the Super Falcons of Nigeria in the third round of the Paris 2024 Olympics qualifiers. What's with Ashley Plumter? Ashley Plumter had to take some time off to work on herself and her fitness. If you haven't watched my interview with Ashley Plumter, go watch it on YouTube. When I spoke with her, she mentioned that she wasn't fit at the World Cup. She just managed to gear herself up enough to play. Even before the game against England, she did not train. And she just moved to Saudi and she had to play a couple games for them. So her body has really taken quite a beating over the past few months. And she's just taking a little bit of time to work on herself, to rest, quite a bit, and hopefully be back to 100% so that she can give her all when she needs to. So yeah, she couldn't make this camp, but I'm pretty sure that Ashley Plumter would be a key player for the Super Falcons in future matches. We already know what she brings to the team when she's there. Okay, Epic 9, you're back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes,
Yeah, hello.
much better.
Can you hear me now?
Much better. Yes, go ahead.
So I'm actually in Abuja. So although I couldn't make the game because I heard really late about it, and I kind of streamed it online from one I think whether it's Jamaican guy's channel. It's very poor of NFL for not, putting out the information in Abuja, because when I was streaming it, a lot of people in my office were like, "Oh, is there a game?" And it was really sad for me personally. I didn't really like that. So that one is number one of concerning that, But for the game, I really enjoyed the game. Although in the first half, it was kind of shaky for the girls. I think maybe, I don't know what's the issue, but I think the way we play when we use our local coaches is a bit different from when we have our foreign coaches, because we are more, during the World Cup and the qualifiers for the World Cup and the AFCON, I could see the arrangement in the team, how fluid the girls were, but here, for these qualifiers, it's a bit different. They were struggling to get on their feet, and Tony Payne couldn't really make those quick passes like she did in the World Cup and all that. So maybe I think we lack on our own side locally our technical assistance and all that concerning managing the team. But all around, I'm happy for the the win, and I think the coach we need to work on our technicality when it comes to the way the girls play. Because me personally, I don't know if Randy would continue, but I want Randy to continue. I really love what the guy is doing because our team is a very well-coached team. When they play, when it's Randy coaching them, you can see they follow instructions. But when we play today, it looks like they're trying to understand what is going on. So it was really boiled down to the individuality of our players that showed today. Not really that we played cleanly. If you watch the game, the first leg and the second leg, it was based on individuality of these players. So that's one thing I noticed. There's no proper instructions on what they should do. And I really love what Ifeoma did, Ifeoma Numen, where the way she played, cutting in and coming and as in crossing the balls and all that. She really her hold-up play was fantastic. Although I have a little reservations for Ashola because, I think she's, as she has gotten to this point in her career, I won't say it's weight, but she's finding it like in Barcelona, she comes off the bench, you understand? So I think she's trying to adjust based on her injury, her long-term injury and something. So I think she has not finally gotten off that, but at least she picked her game up, as the match progresses, because there was a sitter in the first half. I was wondering why she was trying to go around the keeper. She should just play it straight. You understand? So for me personally, they really did well for now. They really did well. We still have more games to come, and I think we might face South Africa in the last round before we get to the Olympics, because I personally, I'm tired of the Super Eagles. I follow the female team right from the under-20s, even when Oshoala was in the 2014 World Cup. That was when she broke in, and I really loved that set of players. I followed them to the end, and when we even lost 1-0 against Germany. So I'm a big fan of the Nigerian Falcons. I support them wholeheartedly. And
Your connection is breaking up a little bit.
just me. So that they give me joy. They really give me joy. The female team really give me
All
joy.
right.
So
Thank you very much,
I enjoy
Epic
watching
9.
them
You're breaking up a
compared to the
bit,
Super
but
Eagles.
thank you. I think
Yeah.
we got the gist of what you were saying. Thank you for joining. Okay, just before we round off, let me take the rest of the comments. Who coached them today? The coach today was Justin Madugu or Madugu. Forgive my pronunciation. But yes, he was the coach for today. Same coach, I believe, as the game in Ethiopia. Ace Kid says, thanks, AyoT. Thank you very much. Chinwo K says, Wizzy TV. Yes, Wizzy TV. Shout out to him or them for streaming the game for us and giving us a platform to be able to watch the match. When did they sack Waldrum? We haven't got any official confirmation that Waldrum has been sacked or his contract hasn't been renewed. So we're waiting for an update from the NFF. Also, Peace Efi has gone well. Yes, North Africa, she has gone well. I mean, Peace Efi is not a newcomer in the team. She played for the Falcons at the World Cup, rather at the WAFCON in Morocco. She missed out of the World Cup, but she was recalled for these matches, and she showed herself to be a good player today for sure. Mui King says that 1-0 in the first half was very crucial. Yes, always nice to take a lead into halftime. It must have given the ladies more confidence and spurred them on, even though, they would want to believe that they could have done the job regardless, but always nice to get the first half goal to just help you relax a little bit and be able to play a bit more of your game. So yes, that was a crucial one for sure. TE Music says Onumonu who is a great player. North Africa says Onumonu who is amazing. People do not see her. Once we learn how to utilize her, we'll enjoy her. And somebody says Randy's Wardrum's contract expires today, though. Well, we have to wait and see what information comes out from the Nigeria Football Federation. Unfortunately, right now, I just don't know. And of course, we'll let you know on our page once we have that information. Epic 9 is asking, why is Okobi not entering the 10? She's wonderful. I mean, Okobi missed out on the World Cup. She nearly missed out on the WAFCON. I think that the Super Falcons hierarchy, the coaches are not really fans of Okobi's game right now. And, unfortunately, she seems to be on the fringes and not someone that they are calling up per se. And yes, to North Africa's point, I've not heard any news about her signing for a club after her contract expired in Spain. So I guess we're also waiting for the new information that we'll get about Ngozi Okobi and her future. But yes, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody that joined the live. I appreciated engaging with you guys as always. Congratulations to the Super Falcons. Moving on to the third round of the Paris 2024 Olympics qualifiers. They are going to face the winner of Uganda versus Cameroon. The game is still 2-0 at halftime in extra time. I'm personally rooting for Uganda. I won't tell you why, but I'm rooting for Uganda. Hopefully, whoever we get, we're able to beat and move on to the fourth round and able to beat whoever we get at that round again and qualify for the Olympics. I mean, we missed out on the last Olympics. It wasn't fun. So, yeah, we need to go and do a job this time around. And from a selfish point of view, myself, I want to go to Paris in summer. Make I go watch ball, make I go enjoy myself and enjoy Olympics vibes. But yes, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. My name is AyoT. This is English Academy of Nigerian Football. Goodbye. Have a good night, guys.